Welcome back for Day 2 of the Ojibwe Forest Rally, the third and final round of the MaxAttack 2-wheel drive rally championship. Day 1 provided much excitement and saw some intense battles and motivated drives from throughout the field. Mark Utek and Rob Bond are in a new 2010 Mustang for this event as part of the Mustang Unleashed program. Mark had a very short learning curve and finished out Day 1 sitting in second place. Sitting right behind Mark and swapping times back and forth with him over the first day is Wyatt Knox and Martin Headland. Wyatt led the event after the first two stages and has been fighting to reclaim a top spot ever since. Wyatt sits in third place going into Day 2, and I guarantee he's not given up sight of a top finish. Currently occupying fourth is Jan Zedril and Jody Zedril. Jan's a former two-wheel drive champion and set some very fast times on Day 1. In fifth place is Matt Bashore. Matt's rally at round 2, the New England Forest Rally, ended early with a roll, but he's back this weekend and has been pushing hard. And then there's Chris Duplessis and Catherine Woods in 6th place. Chris lost over 4 minutes on Day 1 with a broken relay, but with a few stage wins under his belt, he's climbing his way back up the leaderboard. Without the lost time, he'd be battling for the win, and with nothing to lose, he's taking chances and risking it all to see just how far he can make it back up in the standings. Also waiting for any mistakes from the top is Paul Cole in his Volkswagen Golf and Chris Greenhouse in the Dodge Neon. The two were battling and trading stage times all day and are guaranteed to be pushing each other on Day 2. All these drivers have set some very respectable times on Day 1 stages and will likely be challenging for the overall win at a MaxAttack event in the very near future. But until then, this rally's been dominated by one team. Lachlan O'Sullivan and Karen Wagner have been winning nearly every stage, and Lachlan's fearless driving has been rewarded with a healthy lead of over 2 minutes going into Day 2. Lachlan and Karen can't cruise to the finish regardless. There are multiple drivers all driving at maximum attack trying to take over first place and take home the coveted Jake Himes Cup. Going into the final stages, the top 8 are led by Lachlan O'Sullivan with a healthy 2-minute lead. The battle for third is just over 30 seconds and both drivers will be fighting hard. Chris Duplessis has managed to climb from 18th place back up to 6th place and will be giving everything to get further up and into a money-paying position. Day 2 starts out with 2 short stages to warm the drivers up, followed by the longest stage of the day, the 17-mile Mackenzie Lake stage. After one more 9-mile stage, the crews go into service midday. The final leg of the rally is 4 similar stages totaling 35.75 miles. With over 60 competitive miles on Day 2, anything could happen. Matt Bouchard went into the leg in 5th place, and he was charging flat out trying to hold out against the drivers behind him. Matt rolled this car less than a month ago in New England, but doesn't appear to have affected his confidence. The real question will be if it'll be enough to hold out against the charging VW Golf to Chris Duplessis right behind him. Chris Duplessis has been a man on a mission since problems on Stage 2 of the rally and has managed to climb back up the leading board, winning the final night stage on Day 1 in the process. He's continued his ascent and overtakes Matt Bashore by the end of these 4 stages. Wyatt Knox started the afternoon strong, beating Mark Utek in 2nd place on the first 3 stages, closing the gap to 2nd place to only 10 seconds. Mark was pushing to the limit as well, perhaps even over the limit, as can be seen when he had this half spin on Stage 10, losing valuable seconds. Both drivers were charging through the spectator area on Stage 11. Let's go on board with Mark for the final stage of this leg and see if he's able to hold out against the charging Mazda.
Quarter mile to go. Then a right 5 plus, 50, left 4 minus, then a right 4, opens, closes, long, and tightens down to a 3. It's long, it's going to have a part B and then a part C, tightens down to a 3. Then a left 4, into a crest finish, right 4 minus.
And he's done it. Winning that stage by 16 seconds puts the gap back to nearly 30 seconds going into the final leg of the rally. Many people would expect with a 2-minute lead going into the day, Lachlan O'Sullivan and Karen Wagner would back off and cruise for a finish. Lachlan does the exact opposite and wins 3 of the 4 stages overall, further securing his hold on first place. So with only 4 stages left in the rally, Lachlan has all but secured the win with a 4-minute gap on the rest of the field. The battle for second is really heating up with Mark Utek barely holding on by just under 30 seconds. Jan Zedril appears secure in 4th with a minute advantage over Chris Duplessis, but Chris has been a madman all weekend and we can be guaranteed that he'll be driving flat out and taking chances to try and see if he can pass the Mitsubishi. Chris Greenhouse in his Dodge Neon was barely beating Paul Cole in the Volkswagen Golf after the first leg yesterday. Paul managed to edge Chris out by the end of the Day 1, and the two have been battling ever since with a very small margin between them. By the end though, Paul managed to pedal the Golf just fast enough to keep the edge on the Neon. The battle was great to watch and hopefully we'll see more of this rivalry next year. Matt Bashore has driven a very smart and fast rally. Though he got bumped a spot by Chris Duplessis earlier today, his consistency has paid off and he maintains his position. Jan Zedrel is another driver who's driven a smart and consistent rally. Jan went into the final leg battling Chris Duplessis for 4th place. Chris was a man on a mission though and won 3 of the final 4 stages and made it past Jan and Jody in the end, beating them by a meager 42 seconds. Chris drove an amazing rally and the round 2 winner would have been fighting for 1st place had it not been for the mechanical problems on day 1.
Went real well. Yeah, we had some problems early on day 1, so we kind of had nothing to lose after that, so we've been pushing real hard, having a blast, clawing our way back. It's good.
The battle for 2nd place has been raging strong since the first stage yesterday. Wyatt Knox has been struggling to make it back into 2nd from early on. He starts out this leg winning stages 12 and 13, reducing the gap to Mark Utek in 2nd place to under 20 seconds, with only 2 stages remaining. Earlier today, Wyatt had reduced the gap to 2nd, but Mark responded to the pressure and built the gap back to 30 seconds before the crew went into service. This leg is starting out much the same. Let's go on board with Mark on stage 14 and see just how much commitment it takes to be in 2nd place in such a competitive series and see if he can hold out against the Mazda.
Into a left 5 minus, into a right 3 plus, into a left 4, tightens down to a 3. Wow. Small crest 70, small crest into a right 3 plus. Now I'm ahead. It's the right 3 plus. 100, left 5 plus. Into a long crest, into a left 6 plus, into a right 6 plus, into a left 5 minus jump, right 4 long, left 4 minus, could not see a thing, sorry.
Mark ended up blowing out 2 tires with that incident and loses 6 minutes in any hope of a podium. He does manage to limp to the finish, though not without losing another 25 minutes. But this is rally, and to be doing so well in a new car is still highly impressive. Lachlan O'Sullivan and Karen Wagner have absolutely dominated this rally. Even with a 5-minute lead, the crew still won stage 13, and were runner-up to Chris Duplessis on the other 3. Lachlan has absolutely dominated MaxAttack this year with commanding wins both here and at Idaho. As the 2009 winner of the Jake Himes Cup, Lachlan has secured his place in the history as the first driver to win the Cup by obtaining the maximum points possible. Let's go on board with Lachlan and Karen and watch this inspired drive firsthand.
Right 4 plus 150. Left 4 plus long tightens into a right 4 minus long opens. Crest 30, left 4 plus over small crest. Repeat, left 4 plus over small crest, right 5 plus. Into a braking crest 20, left 4, right 3 plus.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, MaxAttack rocks, man. It's really cool. So, yeah, this is my first year doing the MaxAttack stuff. It's friggin' awesome, really cool. And, you know, it's fantastic I hear it's a big trophy and everything, so I'm really looking forward to see that thing.
Let's take a quick look at the final standings. All the drivers got bumped up 1 position after Mark Utek's problems. Jan Zedrel will travel back to Canada straight to Rally Duffy with confidence after such a strong showing at one of the most competitive 2-wheel drive rallies North America's seen in years. Chris Duplessis impressed everyone with his record climb from 18th place all the way to 3rd place with a handful of stage wins along the way. Wyatt Knox finished in 2nd place for the 2nd time in as many rallies. The Mazda is a new car and still being developed, and Wyatt will definitely be one to watch out for in 2010. Lachlan O'Sullivan won this rally by over 5 minutes and drove a flawless event and season. I can guarantee everyone, spectators and fellow competitors alike, will be looking forward to seeing if anyone will be able to challenge Lachlan and Karen in 2010. Until next year, this has been Grant Hughes with No Coast Productions. Visit www.max-attack.com for information on next year's schedule, as well as view special features such as competitor blogs, video specials, and more.